Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome to Cash Talks Football, where today we're breaking goals down in the Carabao Cup for some reason, probably because I'm bored. But I watched Chelsea play again, and I actually spotted a couple of reasons why Chelsea aren't actually good at creating good opportunities. And if I get an opportunity, I'll show you, because you see, it's better than trying to explain it to you. But long and short, I'll just give you a little bit of explanation so you can cut through some of the waffle that you hear on TV and stuff like that. You'll hear things like, there's not enough dynamic play up front, there's not enough movement. All they've just said is they're not running. Dynamic play means movement, movement means running. So what they mean is they're not running with purpose. That's what it really means. And I'll show you a little bit of that later on. Don't let these people, because they waffle so much and never say anything on TV, and they'll never actually explain themselves. Well, what do you mean there's no dynamic purpose up front? Well, show it to me. I'll try to do that in a minute. But we're going to cover this first goal right now, as these wee guys are going for it. Chelsea are actually trying to go this way, boom, boom. Newcastle are going this way. So obviously the ball's breaking here. This guy just wants to keep possession for Chelsea. As it breaks here, dumph, lazy, sloppy pass. Everything from this goal starts from this guy being lazy and sloppy. This is why every single pass is important. And if you ever hear me talking about the difference between a Premier League player and a Championship player, I say it's about 30 to about 45 seconds. And what that is lacks of concentration. That was about 1.2 seconds. So a lower player will do that 1.2, but he'll into 45 seconds. That's how many mistakes like this he'll make overall throughout the game, because he doesn't concentrate and he makes little mistakes, and this mistakes cost goals. Because all of a sudden when this goes down to this guy here, look, he's stretching, he's out. One other thing about this game is it had no VAR. Now, if it did, Caicedo, I think that's how you pronounce his name, he would have been sent off in the first 2 minutes. There would have been another red card later on in the game. Someone just mullered a Chelsea player, one of the Newcastle guys did. There would have been at least 2 more red cards. But what I kind of liked is that VAR wasn't there, so we could have all these really mad challenges and the referee wasn't quite sure what to do. He caught a couple of dives and gave people yellow cards trying to get penalties. It was a better game with no VAR. Watching it, even though the game was boring, you weren't worried about, oh my God, are we going to go back and look at that challenge 4 minutes later because VAR wants to send off a player? No, we just carried on, and it was good to see. It was good involvement. But let's move this forward a little bit as we go here. Bosch, right, now he's got a decision to make. Can he run through and beat the player? So we're going to move it on just so we don't have a couple of seconds there of him just running and deciding to beat the players. This is the guy that made the mistake. He's trying to come back. But this is Thiago Silva, and he can actually defend properly. I don't have to yell at Thiago Silva for being terrible. Right, his body shape is good. Look at his body shape. His shoulders are facing the way that he wants to run, and his hips are going, so he can't be outpaced. If he turns to face the guy, he can just be beaten. He doesn't do that, which is absolutely fantastic. He knows the danger is the space behind him, so he just jockeys with the guy. Look, you see, he's just jockeying with him. He's just running with him. He doesn't care about challenging him. So here's an interesting fact. If you ever do training like this, and you just run from the halfway line to the 18-yard line with players, an attacker and a defender, and the defender doesn't do anything, I reckon 7 times out of 10, the attacker will make a bad touch and it'll give it to the defender. All right? Over and over again. I've done this so many times. You'll be shocked how easy it is to defend, because this player has to beat you. It's his responsibility to beat you. Your responsibility is just to stand there and keep going. And that's what Thiago Silva does very, very well. Look, he just keeps going. Unfortunately, he goes a little bit too much, and this guy sees a window and he tries to go through the window. Honestly, I think he's got no business going through there. That's why Thiago Silva's not really that bothered. Like, you can say, what are you doing, mate? You're running to my mate. That's where I want you to run. I'm not giving you that space to go to. He's coming to close you down. We're quite happy with that. And then his mate tackles him, which is absolutely perfect. But this is where it goes all wrong for him. The Chelsea player has the ball right here. Again, remember what I was going about those 45 seconds? Don't worry, this is his 1.2 second mistake. Bosh. And he just needs to give it straight to the keeper, but he doesn't. You've probably heard play the way you're facing a million times, blah, 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 blah. This is why you play the way you face. And you've probably heard me say, don't do what you can't do. What do you mean what you can't do? What you can't do is a Cruyff turn here on your 18-yard box, because you're not really a good attacking player and how to beat people 1v1. You're a defender. You pass the ball simple, you get the ball back, and you attack. No, he suddenly thinks he's, Ryan Giggs, or he can dribble the ball. And this is where the mistake breaks down. As soon as he tries to do a Cruyff turn, he messes it up, it gets underneath his feet, and now Newcastle go 1-0 up. Bonk, and then it goes. Flick, nice little finish actually. Flicks at the outside of his right foot. Quality finish. But just down to a defender not knowing what he's doing, trying to do too much instead of just keeping it simple. Remember, just keep the ball, boys. Just pass it. Go get it back again. It's that simple. Let's get on to the next goal. I might find a couple of those challenges to add at the end of the video so you can see some of those. But this is just a lofty ball in here. Okay, so let's just talk about why Chelsea can't score goals quickly. Right? Can you see this empty space here? Okay. Chelsea never seem to have a player here. What they seem to do is overload the box and overload the sides, but they can't switch the play at all or try to play any little passes because their two attacking midfielders seem to always go forward. And you only seem to have Caicedo back here on his own, but he's not here. He's like 25 yards back. I'll see if I can find a clip of it in a minute and show you. But I was noticing it the other day and I was like, that can't be right. But today, yeah, they did exactly the same thing. But don't worry, they've got a helping hand scoring a goal. And it comes and it bounces. Oh, we can almost see it here. Conor Gallagher's back here. But yeah, the shape is really weird when they go forward. Now, I have to watch again to see if it's Pochettino trying to do it on purpose or they just don't really know what they're doing. So right now, obviously, he's going to head the ball to the keeper, but what he does wrong, and this happens, I don't know if you've ever done this type of training, what you do is you bounce the ball, trying to bounce over your mate's head. So you stand, two people, one ball, and you bounce the ball and you try to get it over his head. You bounce it on the ground and you try to beat him, so he has to back up and receive the ball, okay? That's the simple basic training that you'll do for little things like this. So what ends up, when you do things like that, this doesn't happen. When he meets the ball too high, so he needs to be controlling it now, and he's trying to head it back. So he's doing two things at once, if that makes sense. He's accidentally controlled the ball instead of passing it back, so he's lost completely control of the ball, and this guy just runs in and smashes it into the net box and gives him a goal. There we go. Poor old Kieran Trippier. He misses his penalty. They go out on penalties. I'm not going to bother showing you the penalties because I don't break down. There's nothing technical to break down on penalties. You either kick the ball brilliantly or you mess it up. Sometimes there is, but not today. Let's see if we can find some of those challenges, though. That's why the replays at pants. There's the highlights. They've only got this one here, but this is like modern day. Look at that. Studs up on his Achilles at the back. No intention of playing the ball. And he's just raked his studs right down the back of this guy's Achilles. Actually, I think he went off as well, to be fair. Not straight away. I think it was like about half an hour later. Yeah, studs on the back of the Achilles. That's just awful. I mean, that's an instant red card. There's no way he's trying to play the ball there. He's just done the player, knowing that he can't get a VAR decision on it. But God, that's awful. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a repercussion or something back for that for the next round, because it is terrible. But that's about it. I'll see you next time on Cash Does the Carabao Cup now, apparently.